all my dear friends here. So please take this. This is the sweetest rasagulla in the whole world. You know, sweetest rasagulla in the whole world. I've been glorifying the rasagulla. I think an intelligent person would what would he do would be after listening all of this would do would do a small request to that person. Please give me rasagulla. I want to taste it. Right. So exactly the talk of all of this comes to a conclusion with practical application. So since we have ended up with a whole seminar, and we came to an sum and substance, we said the sum, the bonum, the bonum of all of this talk comes to a central point that chanting is the key to happiness. Maybe now there'll be another aspect of it. The doubt should never come to an end. The doubt should never come to an end. Why is that? Because now someone will say, okay, I've been chanting since this time, I've been chanting since that time, but it's not coming. So just like when there is a lot of stained cloth, fully stained with mud and fully stained with oil, grease, everything, and you give it to someone who's cleaning, you cannot expect the cleaning to be fast and expect it to be a very pleasurable position. Cleaning of any kind, like you're scrubbing your face, will involve some kind of payment, some kind of pain, perseverance. Similarly, we already know that we came here because we had the selfish desire to enjoy lust, anger, envy, pride, greed. These are all the enemy, which is invisible viruses in our heart, more potent, more dangerous than the COVID virus. COVID virus will stay for some time. How much can it stay? One moment it will just get rid of this world, and again we'll be back in our normalcy. But this great thing known as lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, we said no, we had subtle body, and in that this all stays. It all stays. It doesn't go so easily. So we require a very, very expensive detergent. And that expensive detergent has come into being by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also by the mercy of the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the disciplic succession, and our immediate teacher being Srila Prabhupada. We have been blessed. Unlike others, we've been blessed that we got this free. We got this great medication for free. So my question to you all is, now I happen to be a shopkeeper of Harinam and I have a very beautiful Rasagulla of Harinam. What would you love to do? Would you love to just see and listen, or just lick the outer part, or imagine what degree will it be beautiful? Or would you love to try or taste? Is my question. So please, I need a reply on this.
We love to try and taste.
Yes, we would love to try and we would love to. No, exactly. It's a very subjective feeling, right? So we should try to add Krishna with 7 days essence in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna gave to Arjuna, he gave at 48 minutes, and that changed everything. In that 48 minutes only, there was a time when Arjuna was totally bewildered, didn't know what to do, what not to do. Took that position. That doesn't mean that Arjuna was really bewildered. Like I said, Amitabh Bachchan playing the role of sometimes hero and playing the role of some murderer in some films does not change the personality Amitabh Bachchan, right? So he's just playing the part. He's playing the part for us. So there was a moment in that 48 minutes of delivery of the Bhagavad Gita. There was a moment where he was confused, and there was a moment where he actually said, please, I surrender upon you. Now you tell me whatever, I'll do that. And at last he says, okay, fine, whatever you say, I will do it. And then he surrenders to the Supreme Lord. So similarly, surrender in our case does not mean that we give up everything. Just like Arjuna was not a monk or a saintly person and who left their house or home or everything. Arjuna was a grihastha, or Arjuna was a king, right? He had a place, he had a kingdom to look after. He had many things to do. Similarly, we also have many things to do. We are students. We have many. We are wearing a lot of coats. Some are working. Some are working mothers. Some are independent women. Some are they are students. They are cultivating their dreams and opting for it. So in this chaos, in there's so many things to do in such short period of time, like Prahlad Maharaj says, our focus should be very simple. We just need to add Krishna, just the consciousness of Krishna in our life. That's it. Krishna consciousness is the most simple thing in life. Just add Krishna. So from today onwards, let's promise to each other that we have established a relationship. Now we have understood that, irrespective of whether you belong to me biologically or not, but spiritually we all belong to the same big family, right? Same big family of eternal soul. And there is a place known as Vaikunda where we have our permanent house. And in order to revive that address, in order to revive that, just like a person who has a visa for India and he stays in India for a long period of time. But after some time, what happens? He has to go and update his status, right? He has to update his status. He has to go there to the uh, FRO, and all those things has to be done. Even that is very much, restricted in this material world, which is very temporary in its nature, right? It could have just been like that, but the rules of material nature is very strict. So we cannot, if this is, this material world is called as pervaded or a reflection. Like yesterday, we were talking, or we were giving example of a woman who's doing makeup in front of the mirror, and she's trying to, make herself beautiful by applying makeup on the reflection. It's impossible, first of all, and it's just sham eva kevalam, waste of time and labor. That's it. The great acharyas have said the same, that it's just going to be Shameva Kevalam. So we are not going to do that. Since now we have got this authentic Bhagavad Gita with us, since we have got authentic teacher like Srila Prabhupada, so we should not waste. Someone asked Srila Prabhupada, as Srila Prabhupada, you said that, just by chanting, everything's going to be like, just by chanting, we'll go back to our place. That place is known as back to Godhead, to our Dham, to Vaikuntha, to our abode, spiritual abode. So then is it possible? Because we have read that there are so many instructions which have been given in the book of wisdom that we have to do so many things, and we're just doing 16 rounds we're doing. So is it possible? And Sri Prabhupada said, well, that's true. It's very difficult. It's really difficult to enter the supreme abode. It's not easy. Like, in order to meet CM is what? A representative of the country at state level. Just imagine, just now, not even CM. CM is far-fetched. Just take example of a mayor or a municipal officer. You just take an example. Now it's impossible even to meet them. It's really impossible, right? So, and here we're talking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. And to meet him just by this petty thing, is it possible? The student was asking me. And what Prabhupada replied to us, replied, is a hope for all of us. For hope for all of us, insincere students like me at least. So Sri Prabhupada says that, yes, it is indeed very difficult to enter the main door of the spiritual abode. But don't worry, I have a key to the back door of the supreme abode. I have the key. So just follow what I've said, just repeat what I have said, and just be faithful to the sastras. Just be faithful to the process of Harinam. Then definitely I have a key and I will let you an entry there. Don't worry about it. So these are the words from a personality who actually proved himself. Otherwise, just imagine if you open YouTube, there are crores and crores of personality who are talking about all of this science. But what made you come here is the purity. Yesterday, there was a very good question put forward by Karma Mataji, Karma Wang Mataji. Should we not take onion and this stick our diet, right? So in this regard to this, I gave you an example that there are basically four things. Like in students, like we as students of Srila Prabhupada, under the leadership of Srila Prabhupada, we are restricted to four important things. What are they? Basically, we don't do gambling, we don't intoxicate ourselves, we don't take any kind of drinks, right? Alcoholic drinks, and we don't do illicit connection. Like for example, marriage is an institution. It gives us the liberty or the license to uh, meet our mating needs. However, other than this, we don't practice illicit connection with the opposite gender, right? Or in case now the trends are changing with the same gender as well, so we don't do that. And at the same time, okay, Yeah, we don't do illicit connection, we don't gamble, we don't intoxicate, and also, yes, we don't even practice the eating of meat. So why is this done? Is because in order to become effective, in order to become effective in IAS officer position or UPSC, there are certain planning, there are certain technique or technicalities that is there with which we can actually become so. So so one has to follow that technicalities, then only one will be able to crack. Similarly, if you really want to understand, if you really want to be happy, there is a cost or there's a payment to be made. So with things like meat, you're eating someone's flesh. If you see a saintly person and if you see a normal person or a demoniac person, a butcher versus a priest in the temple, and if you just imagine what kind of a quality does a saint have. There is two very important quality that Srila Prabhupada always emphasizes in his talk. It says titiksha and being merciful. Titiksha means a saint or a sadhu is very much dhira, very much perseverant, is very much he's able to control. That's why in our future sessions we'll see that in the topmost teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said Trinadapi Sunechenu Tarurapi Saishnanu. Though it will not be highlighted now, but I'm just giving you a purview of what he said of such great personalities. Said that saintly personalities they don't fight. They're not like that. Then they're the most important symptom in Bhagavad Gita we see of a saintly personality is his vacha. He's sweet in his words. He does not hurt anybody. He doesn't even hurt anybody. Like if you see in the great book of wisdom in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, there we see this great personality. There was a there was a person who he was a hunter, and he was a king and he was a hunter, and he found pleasure in killing animals. Not just killing, killing was okay, but he found pleasure when this animals when he's hunting these personalities, and when this animals are suffocating, they're crying out for death, and that pira or uh, that kind of pain, when a person is about to die and he has difficulty in leaving his life air. It's a very pathetic situation. That's my personal experience. I've seen it. It's a very pathetic experience. So this personality found happiness and pleasure. So Narad Muni, the great teacher, we have understood in the disciplic chain, is our teacher as well. So he and came and said, "Hey, okay, fine. You're hunting, you're killing, that's okay. But why are you so tarpinu ki na dekho?" Narad Muni was saying, why are you doing this? This is really bad. Either you kill him, finish it off. What are you doing? So this great personality said, because I find happiness. So Narad Muni said, okay, you know, you're doing with all of this mm, you're doing all of this. So okay, then you go back home and you ask, you have to pay for all of this. Like karma comes into play, right? He's doing everything, so he has to go through all that. So he went back home and he asked for his wife and all his family members about who's going to take the partake of the sinful activities that he's doing, and he realized nobody's doing. So from that personality, what he became, and since he got the knowledge from Narad Muni, he actually took up the Sankirtana, and then he became a saintly person. From a butcher, from a hunter, he became a saintly person. And he questioned the authority. Narad Muni said, "Okay, if I don't kill them, then how will I sustain my life? How will I sustain? How will I feed my child? How will I do this and that?" Then he said, "That will be done. You just try doing that." Then he started, chanting the holy name, and he became saintly. And he had a small hut. Then he had a small hut, and where he stayed with his wife. And the villagers, came to know that this great hunter turned out to be a saintly person. So each day, this personality, all these villagers used to come and give fruits, give this, give that, because this person became a saintly personality and used to come there. So we see, and this personality from such a hunter became a saintly person. Not just that, from a person who found happiness in seeing the person find difficult to leave his body, now he even feared killing an ant. Feel so in order to develop this kind of quality, it's not easy. It's not something like you sit at home and that It turns out like you sit at home and you dream of becoming an IS officer, and tomorrow you become an IS officer, right? It's not possible. There has to be some practical steps. That's why bhakti, or the art of loving or building this relationship with the Supreme Lord, involves activity. And in activity, there also involves some speed breakers. Like when you're driving, there's some speed breakers, right? Or there's some catalyst or some speed breakers as well. So these things, and there are some what do I say, impediments. So this all these activities actually cause an impediment. And why great personalities like Srila Prabhupada and all, they have been able to influence all of us, is that when talked about the four legs of the religion, we talked about purity, austerity, we talked about truthfulness, right? We did talk about this, and compassion. So we cannot imagine a butcher to be compassionate, but we can imagine, and we actually expect the priest or the 70% to be compassionate. How does it develop this compassionate? Is when, because we know what we put inside, we reflect outside. If we have love inside, love comes outside. If we have hatred inside, hatred comes outside. That's why, just that's why it is said that koel and the crow, they looks very similar outside. Maybe we can dress ourselves as very goodly and good person, this and that, but the moment we open our mouth, it makes all the difference. So we can see how beautiful the koel sings, and the crow is limited, is not koel. So similarly, in order to develop all these qualities, we imbibe, we restrict ourselves with all these things. So why I made this bottom line, or why I had the audacity to speak about this topic now, is that because Srila Prabhupada is a realized personality. How do we come to understand is that just by his little talk, if you have the opportunity, you can have a look at the Srila Prabhupada's videos on YouTube. When he began, he never had a talk or a discussion or a discourse of great book of wisdom with very renowned personalities. No, he had this discussion with people from the street who were actually almost had given up hope in their life. They were completely in the mode of ignorance. Hippies, the hippies moment where they were not able to rationalize their life, and they were into drugs, halfway sedated, halfway euphoric in their euphoric plane. But he actually loved them. He was there. He was sharing all this book of wisdom. And today, this whoever calls these people hippies, they are the great acharyas of our time. They're the great teachers now. So that's the effect of purity. So when we have restricted our diet, when we follow this chanting Harinam, Maha Mantra, this purity it will boost. It's like an accelerator, it will accelerate our vehicle in such a way that we can reach and understand, and we can find or develop taste in chanting the Harinam, and go back home, back to Godhead, because that's our destination, right? If we really want to get rid of, after hearing 7 days for so many hours, investing such time, I think it would, like, I have a great teacher, spiritual teacher of Srila Prabhupada, that is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Srila Prabhupada, said that if you really don't know, then it's just going to be Shameva Kevalam. You do all those activities, but if you don't do the right activities with the right degree, then there is no point. It's just going to be waste of labor. Just like my spiritual teacher says, he says clearly that, it's like a chemical reaction. Like yesterday we discussed about some solute and solvent. Similarly, this devotional service looks very, abstract. It's not something that we cannot touch, or we cannot have it physically. But on the subtle level, it is very much something that we can feel around. So it said that exactly the same. If we use the right amount of salute in right degree, then the output will come. So we have to know how to put that right salute and solvent, and things are going to work out. So with this, we come to an understanding that this yuga, the main way to solve our problems, not just here, but also after life. And not just after life, because some people will say, no, until then, let me enjoy it. So for those people, want to say that, no, this place is Dukhale Masashvatam. Now you can say to your friends, hey, watch out, this place is Dukhale Masashvatam. And even Uddhava is a great personality and a great devotee of Lord. He himself says that there's only one way by which we can be happy, at least even in this Dukhale Masashvatam, is by taking the shelter of the Lord. Now, yesterday, we we're actually discussing about what is the benefit of chanting the Lord's name. And now today also we saw many benefits, that it is a secret, it is a ticket to go back to Godhead, right? But with this, we have to accept that we are very sinful. Like we said, we had a lot of karma. What happens to our karma? So not only it brings about happiness, but it also extinguishes our karma. Remember, no, nothing. We have to go through whatever we have done. Prahlad Maharaj says clearly to his friend, hey, listen, even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says that this happiness and this sadness is like weather, you know, like weather. There is summer, there is winter. We cannot help it, but we have to accept. Now, today it's raining and morning it was sunny. We cannot do anything about it. So it's already fixed. It's already not within our hands, right? So similarly, we have to face it. But along with this, there is one very beautiful solution to it. Sutta Goswami is saying in Bhagavad Gita in Canto 13, chapter in Canto 13, he's saying that a person who takes the shelter of Lord Krishna, this world full of falls and is like a big ocean, and this karma that we have developed is also similar to that. And a person who takes the shelter of Lord Krishna, all his problem will be converted. Big problems, big karma, big result, bad result, dangerous result will be converted, and big karma will be converted, or big problems will be converted into what size? Have you ever seen a calf, mother cow's little child? So calf, the the size of the hoof print of the calf, that size, that much reduction will be done if we chant the holy name. So the book of wisdom also says that irrespective of whatever may be the cause, someone may think that, no, I want to be really rich, I really want to be rich, I don't care about going back to Godhead. Please chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you will be rich. If anybody says, no, I want to have the most beautiful wife in life, please chant Hare Krishna, that will also be possible. Because Krishna is what? He's above everything. He is the CEO of the Lakshmi department. He is the CEO of the knowledge department. He is the CEO of all the departments. Because we said, no, the like great personalities like Goddess Durga, Lakshmi ji, everybody, they're working under whose leadership? Under the leadership of Ishvara, Parama, Krishna, right? Under the leadership of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the great personalities in the book of wisdom, Srimad Bhagavatam, quotes this: whatever may be the cause of your worship, but worship Lord Krishna. And what is the way of worshiping in this Kali Yuga? Unlike other yugas where one has to be very purified, this time we are full of contaminated state. But still it is saying, just chant this name. This name itself will purify everything. So even if you go and ask to a priest who's actually doing some big yagya, some Puranas, uh, everything will be done. All the great, some, Vedic mantras are chanted and hymns are chanted, but to purify, to come to nullify whatever, mistakes that have been done during the yagya, you chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that much potency the Hare Krishna Mahamantra has. So let's not waste our time, because just like I said, I've done a lot of advertisement in terms of the Rasagulla. Now we have to understand that we have to taste this. And like I said, some people will have degree, right? So we have a lot of karmas. We have a lot of, some people easily after chanting some rounds, they find it happy, they find it this, and some people is like, oh man, it's not working for me. I don't think it's worth it. No, it's not like that. Some, even if it's like, it's so distasteful, even if it is not tasty, it's boring, whatever the case is, you should still go on. Because we said that cleaning procedure is a very painful procedure, right? Like, for example, the best example, everybody has heard about Gaur Gopal Prabhu, great personality. So in one of his snippets, I heard very beautiful message, a very beautiful keynote, where he was saying there was a very intimate talk between two marble stone. It's a very spiritual thing. So there is a very unimaginable talk between two marble stone. So there's a very beautiful sculpture, okay, but the sculpture is also made, the raw material is marble, and the marble on the floor is also marble, same family, okay. So everybody's coming and clicking photos and all this thing, and it's the main object of worship there. Everybody is after that sculpture. So this stone from the ground said, hey friend, you know what? We were actually taken from the same raw material, same big raw material, and the sculpture made me this and made you this. Why I'm not famous and why you're famous? But we are made from the same thing. What's the difference between me and you? You know, and the sculpture was really beautiful. You know, because the sculpture made it into a very beautiful object of appreciation. So this beautiful object of appreciation said, "Listen to me very carefully. When we were cut into pieces, when we were cut into pieces, the sculpture first tried to make something out of you, but you didn't like the pain. You didn't like the process of making. You found it. You could not tolerate the pain. So therefore, you got rejected, and you were just a stone there. However, when he took me after, after he got rejected by you because you could not cooperate with him, then what he did, he he took me, and not just took me. Then he started carving me with what, the very piercy, sharp instrument of his, and then he made who I am today. So during that procedure, nobody asked me what degree of pain I had to go through. That I got this appreciation today, right? So so we understand. So we understand with everything comes with, the bottom line is so beautiful that it takes time. It involves a lot of time. Once a teacher from our community was asked by a new student who was chanting the Harinam or the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, saying, I've been chanting since 1.5 years, but I'm not able to find the taste that you were saying that the books of Srila Prabhupada said. And then this great personality said that for Srila Prabhupada, it took 20 plus years for him. So what can we imagine? So why am I saying this? It's not a discouraging thing, but it's like, when we buy a manual of any kind of machine or product in the shop, along with beneficial steps, the steps to, how to use. This is the best product. This is the this. All the glorification has been made, but there's a page known as caution, precautionary steps. Do not worry if this happens. So this is exactly the page. Do not worry even if you don't like chanting, even if it's the most boring thing to do, the least thing to do in the day, but please make sure that you do. And the best logic that I've come to um, in understanding as a student of Bhakti Yoga is just like this is a very practical thing. Just like every day, irrespective of how much poor a beggar is, or how much rich a personality or great personality is, how much busy anybody is, they will find a time to sit and eat, because that's the basic necessity of the body, right? Physiologically, that's a basic necessity, and that is set. There is something known as bio clock. Okay, I don't know whether everyone is oriented or not, but there is something known as bio clock, which means, like for example, I usually eat in the morning at around 9 o'clock, and I've been eating at 9 o'clock since many years. So the bio clock has been set. As soon as it's 9 o'clock, even if I don't, my mind does not remember, but the bio clock gets activated and starts producing salivary glands in my stomach, and says slowly the salivary glands are to a point that it there are receptors which provides a reception that hey, it's 9 o'clock. Then I will look to things, I will look at clock and I come to realization that, oh, I'm supposed to eat. This is bio clock, right? So so similarly, the bio clock is there. So similarly, this bio clock is what is it like, fixed from the time when we were born? No, it's not fixed. It comes by default. Similarly, this kind of habits comes by default. Like in Bhagavad Gita, it said, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Like the consciousness is like water. If you put some color in, it will reflect that color in only. Slowly, gradually, but will reflect. Similarly, Similarly, if you sit with saintly personalities, you just hear, do. There will be a time where you spontaneously speak out. The best example is us. We haven't read anything big. We just hear. That's it. So it's very spontaneous. Our consciousness is that. We are very pure by nature. So similarly, uh, chanting procedure is like that only, And what's the logic to always chant is that just like every day, somehow or the other, irrespective, even if it's one spoon food or one plate food or half plate food, we eat. We make sure that we eat, right? It's a basic need we eat. Similarly, whatever the case, if you are chanting one round, make sure that you chant one day, that day. It's just like that's your meal. Because I said in the first session, we had a discussion. We have food for the stomach, but we should also have a food for our mind, food for our soul. And the food for our soul in this yoga is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this logic, this analogy will basically help you to always be consistent. If you ever get the opportunity to read what pure love means, it says like this. Anya bilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavratam anukullena krishnanushilanam bhakti uttama. This is the definition of pure love. What does it say? It says what? Irrespective of everything, leaving away everything which is favorable for, we do that thing. That is what pure love is. So irrespective of whatever happens, if you have made a vow, so you're supposed to chant one round per day, and please do it, whatever the case is. Just like we eat our plate of food, whatever happens. Even if, just imagine, I'll give you, it's a very brutal reality. It might not sound good, but I'll tell you. Even when your loved ones die, after they leave the after we have gone, after they have been burned, we come back home, we take shower, and then what do? We cook by our own hands, we offer to that personality, and what do? We eat. Even at that condition, oh my god, my beloved has left, I should have left with this personality. We cry, we sober down. But after sometimes we do that. Because we cannot get away from the basic physiological need of the body. Similarly, we have to understand that the basic physiological need of the soul is to chant, is to remember God. And when this understanding, when this thing is there in our head, in our mind, there will be a lot of tribulations. There will be a lot of problems here and there because this is material world. We cannot expect everything to be perfect. Nothing's going to be perfect. But if our perception, if our take on things are clear, this clarity and this convincing power will help us out. So with this, we have come to the end of the session. Now let us taste the gulab jamun of Harinam. So maybe you could open the Japa 108 counter. Are you with me? Do you all have this? Please reply. Please reply.
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yes.
Everybody is okay, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So I request the screen to be made public where we are supposed to chant Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, the Panchatattva month. So I have some added factual addition to Harinam. So we see from the day on, we have been saying, Om Jnanant Mirandasya Dhananjana. We've been, mercifully praying for the mercy of the Lord in the form of teacher, right? So similarly, we understand that out of the four defects we have said that we have the propensity to commit mistake. So whenever we are chanting, like for example, when we're meeting a pure person, we don't take some criminal records, right? And so similarly, we see that the book of wisdom is saying that there is no difference between Lord Krishna. He say that directly, if anybody without any kind of offenses chants Krishna's name, he will meet Krishna. Definitely we can see. Prabhupada says a person who actually does perfection in this yoga in the form of Harinam Sankirtan can actually face Krishna face to face, talk to him, have a talk to him. Okay. Though it's on a very higher platform, but just for the needed that is our at least our goal, our aim. We should have that in our mind, right? So, but what happens? We are in the process of cleaning. So we are already very contaminated. So a person comes, all houses clean, and someone comes and stabs on, stabs with footprints, mudded footprints. Oh, it's really bad. So similarly, when we are chanting Krishna's name, we have to understand, at least have a theoretical backdrop idea that it's a very pure name. So we will sometimes commit mistakes because we said Krishna is saying, Arjuna is saying, Chanchala, Mana Krishna. So Our mind is here, here, here. That's why mantra has came into being, to bring back. The whole logic is bring back, bring back, bring back. So there is a mantra which we say before saying this to protect ourselves. Whenever we do any kind of offenses, in regard to the holy name, it protects us. So let us have that mantra. Public screen, please. And maybe a few of our friends could switch on the video and show your beautiful face. So we chant a mantra. Maybe you, I don't know. Hare Krishna, Bina Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
There's a small request if Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya mantra could be.
Yeah. Today Prabhu is using the slide. I'm just telling him.
Okay, sure, Mataji. Okay.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so let us just have a look at our audience, beautiful audience. Hare Krishna, Sangita Mataji. Actually, I have a very poor internet today, so I'm not able to show.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Januka Mataji. Hare Krishna,
Mataji.
Sangita Mataji. Oh, we have two
Hare
Sangita Mataji.
Krishna.
Oh, thank you so much for a beautiful Nisha Mataji, Rajashri Mataji. Please
Mataji.
show a beautiful face. And we can someday, when normalcy comes. Oh, Hare Krishna, Nisha Mataji. Thank you for being with us.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
We have Malati Mataji, Hari Bol. Okay, let me just try to make myself also. Okay. It's not showing. Okay, the thing is, there's some problem with my internet, so excuse me. Okay, yeah, we have Rajshri Mataji, we have Peena
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hari Bol, really happy to see a beautiful face. Okay, so everybody is ready to taste the gulab jamun of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So I think we should have the mantra on. Okay, let's chant. Everybody ready? So maybe you can make your counter to 0 and humbly start. Okay, let's. So before chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we chant this mantra. Okay, so let's start. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Everybody could say with me slowly.
Jai Shri
Jai Shri Krishna
Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Chaitanya.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara.
Shri
Shri
Advaita
Gadadhara.
Shivasadi.
Srivasadi.
Shadi.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gaura Bhakta
Bhakta
Vrinda.
Vrinda.
Maybe at first it's a little difficult, but we will be sending this mantra in easy text to you, and then you can practice it slowly until the lockdown situation becomes normal. You can chant with the help of this japa counter. So now you can do Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
You can press the button 0 to 1. Click that 1. 1 by any button. In your app, you can just simply click 1, or even if it's leave it. Okay, I will count, but you're supposed to count 1. Okay, so now we continue with another. Like if you can see me, let me show myself. Okay. There is something known as chanting beats, okay, that you will be getting in coming days when normalcy come and then you can come to our temple. There you can get. So basically, this is 108, standard beats, okay. So we chant on each beats, okay. Just like we said, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare. Finish. One.
Hare
Then
Hare.
the second. Okay. We usually don't use this index finger. That will be taught in future. Right now, just because we have the digital japa, so it doesn't make any difference. So in the next, now we chant together. Hare Krishna. Let's chant.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
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 Rama Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare.
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
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 Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
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 Hare,
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
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 Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
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 Hare
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 Hare,
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Hare,
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
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 Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
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 Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
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 Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Hare
Everybody,
Hare,
sing together,
Hare
chant together.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I don't get to hear all of them. Please chant the holy name. Please chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Hare,
Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
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 Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
तपाईँहरूको स्टार्ट भयो
Vayu.
भयो नि
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
हजुर.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much for being so positive about the whole thing. And अब फर्स्ट टाइममा त अलिकति गाह्रो हुन्छ है, तर विथ प्र्याक्टिस आनन्द हुन्छ। जस्तो भन्नुहुन्छ कि हाम्रो स्थिति चाहिँ कस्तो छ अरे भन्दा जन्डिस भएको बिमारी जस्तो जन्डिस भएको बिमारीलाई सबसे मिठो स्वीट क्यान्डी दियो भने पनि उसको मुख तितो छ नि त नि, जन्डिस भन्दा मुख तितो छ फिभरले गर्दा, त उसलाई त्यो मिठो पनि तितो लाग्छ अरे। बट जसरी उसको त्यो जन्डिस जाती हुँदै जान्छ, फिभर घट्दै गयो नर्मल हुन थाल्दै जान्छ, तब त्यही मिठो मिठाई जुन चाहिँ तितो भइरहेको थियो अगाडि, त्यसपछि उसले टेस्ट पाउँछ, उसको जुन चाहिँ बड्स छ, टेस्ट बड्सले चाल पाउँछ कि दिस इज स्वीट भनेर। एक्ज्याक्टली फर्स्टमा सायद मिठो नलाग्ला, बिकज हामी एकदम अलिकति हाम्रो स्टेट अब सुन्दाखेरि नराम्रो लाग्छ, तर हामी एकदम डिमोनियाक छौँ है, राक्षसी प्रभाव भएको छ हाम्रो। भन्नुहुन्छ कि पहिलाको युगमा राक्षस अनि देवता जन अलग अलग हुन्थे अरे, तर यो कलियुगमा चाहिँ राक्षसी प्रभाव जुन चाहिँ छ नि हामी भित्रै छ अरे, कहीँ जानु पर्दैन दुश्मन खोज्नलाई, आफ्नो भित्रै घरभित्रै नै डिमोनियाक र के भन्छ डिभाइन क्वालिटिज छ अरे। अनि हरिनामले के गर्छ बेसिकली त्यो डिमोनियाक जुन चाहिँ प्रवृत्ति छ नि त्यसलाई काट्छ। त्यही कारण भन्दैछ कि हरिनामले नै तार्छ हामीलाई भनेर है। त्यही कारण स्विटली आज भोलि आउने टाइममा त्यस्तो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लाग्दैन, बोरिङ लाग्छ है, के हरे कृष्ण के बारम्बार एउटै कुरा। तर विथ टाइम जब हामीले त्यसलाई सुन्दै जान्छौँ, आस्वादन गर्दै जान्छौँ, त्यसपछि त्यो मिठो लाग्छ। त्यही भनेर हाम्रो ग्रेट पर्सनालिटी श्री प्रभुपादले भन्नुहुन्छ है, उहाँले भन्नुहुन्छ कि फर्स्टमा साह्रो, त्यसपछि बिस्तारै बिस्तारै मिठो हुन्छ, जस्तो जन्डिस भएको जस्तो हाम्रो कन्डिसन छ। सो हजुर अब चाहिँ सिन्स हामीले सेसन अलिक एक्सटेन्डै गऱ्यौँ, तैपनि एटलिस्ट कम 2-3 मिनट्स गर्दै तपाईँको फिडब्याक अथवा तपाईँलाई कस्तो लाग्यो यो फर द फर्स्ट टाइम च्यान्ट गर्दा, कस्तो फिलिङ थियो, यो भागवत गीताको जुन चाहिँ बारेमा तपाईँले सुन्नुभयो है, त्यसको बारेमा के छ हामीलाई अलिकति सेयर गरिदिनुहोस्, किनभने वी आर जस्ट बिगिनिङ है। जति त्रुटि हुन्छ, जति मिस्टेक हुन्छ, मिस्टेक चाहिँ मेरो पार्ट हो, अलवेज प्लिज यो चाहिँ ध्यान दिएर तपाईँ सुन्नुहोस् है। द्याट मिस्टेक चाहिँ मेरो पार्ट हो, बिकज म पनि नाउ तपाईँहरूलाई सबैलाई थाहा छ 4 डिफेक्ट्सको अन्तरमा हुन्छु। मेरोमा पनि चिट गर्ने, कमिट गर्ने, मिस्टेक्स कमिट गर्ने, उल्टा भन्ने, इल्युजन भन्ने धेरै चिज छ। उल्टा भनेको छु है, कतिवटा मिस्टेक्स भनेको हुन्छ, मेरोबाट त्रुटि हुनसक्छ, तर त्यो त्रुटि चाहिँ मेरो हो। तर जति शास्त्र चाहिँ स्पटलेस भन्छ है, यसलाई चाहिँ अमला पुराणम भन्छ, मतलब स्पटलेस हो, यहाँ कुनै डाउट छैन, कुनै गल्ती छैन। त्यही भएर आज फर्स्ट टाइम सुन्नुभयो लोकबाट नि, ह्युमनबाट, मतलब मान्छेबाट सुन्नुभयो शास्त्र नि। अब तपाईँहरूले अपर्च्युनिटी पाउनु भएको छ, श्रील प्रभुपादसित इंट्रोडक्सन भयो, भेट भयो। श्रील प्रभुपादले भन्नुहुन्छ धेरै गुनासो गर्नुभयो कति मान्छेले, तपाईँलाई त भेट्नु सकिन, देख्नु सकिन। त श्रील प्रभुपादले अन द वे टु कृष्ण भनेर छोटो किताब छ नि, धेरै किताबहरूमा उहाँले आफै खुदै पनि भन्नुभएको कि मलाई नभेटे तापनि मेरो वचन अथवा मेरो शब्दलाई कसैले सुनेर अथवा त्यसलाई लाइफमा अप्लाई गरे भने मलाई भेटेको बराबर हो। उसको छेउमा म सदैव हुन्छु, म जीवित हुन्छु है। त्यही कारण हामी जसरी भन्यौँ, हामीले नदेखिकन पनि देख्न सक्छौँ, चक्षु, हामीले भिजन क्रिएट गर्न सक्छौँ श्रवणद्वारा, सुनेर। त्यही कारण हजुरहरूलाई एकदम ज्यादा अनुरोध छ कि आजदेखि सिन्स अब त चाल पायौँ, अब हामीले भागवत गीता के हो चाल पायौँ, अब हामी कुन परम्परामा छ चाल पायौँ, अब हामीले चाल पायौँ श्रील प्रभुपाद हुनुहुँदो रहेछ। श्रील प्रभुपादले हरेक चिज, हरेक वर्ड टु वर्ड लेख्नु भएको छ, हरेक वर्ड टु वर्ड। उहाँ सिर्फ 2 घन्टा सुत्नुहुन्थ्यो अनि सबै यो किताबहरू उहाँहरूले लेख्नु भएको, आफै खुदै हातले एकदम लिएर यति कष्ट गर्नुभएको, शब्दको अर्थदेखि लिएर उहाँले रेकर्ड गर्नुभएको छ। अनि हामीले यसको अनडिजायर्ड फ्री त्यहाँ अडियो पाउँछौँ। अनि जुन चाहिँ हरे कृष्ण महामन्त्र छ त्यो पनि तपाईँहरूले अब चाल पाउनुभयो, डिजिटल जापा पाउनुभयो। म त्यसको भिडियो तपाईँलाई सेन्ड गरिदिन्छु कि फर्स्टमा 0 प्रेस गरेर जय श्री कृष्ण जुन चाहिँ पञ्चतत्व महामन्त्र छ, जसले हामीलाई बचाव गर्छ, हेल्प गर्छ, त्यो पहिला भन्ने, त्यसपछि चाहिँ हामीले हरे कृष्ण महामन्त्र जप गर्ने, त्यसको विधि अथवा सिम्पल टेक्निक त्यो पनि बताइदिन्छु। त्यसपछि हामीले श्रील प्रभुपादले जुन चाहिँ यो च्यान्ट गर्नुभएको छ, उहाँ त के भनेको छ, हामीले फर्स्ट सेसनमा हामीले सुन्यौँ कि हामीले भगवानलाई बुझ्न सक्छौँ यो इन्द्रियले होइन, भगवानलाई हामीले बुझ्न सक्दैनौँ हाम्रो ज्ञानले होइन, भगवानलाई हामीले बुझ्न सक्छौँ उहाँको भक्तद्वारा। उहाँले खुदै भन्नुभएको छ है। अनि जस्तो सिएमलाई भेट्नलाई पिए चाहिन्छ, र पिएको राम्रो रिलेसनसिप छ भने सिएमसँग त सब कुरा हुनसक्छ, उठ्नु बैठ्नु सब कुरा हुनु। जस्तै भगवानसँग उठ्नु बैठ्नु छ हाम्रो जीवनमा, हामीलाई खुसी चाहन्छ भने हामीले आश्रय लिनुपर्छ त्यो महाभागवतको अथवा प्रेमी भक्तको। त्यही कारण आज स्टेप छ, आज हामी तपाईँले म जस्तो स्टुडेन्टबाट सुन्नुभयो, तर अब यो स्टुडेन्टले तपाईँलाई टिचरसित मिलाइदियो नि त। अब यो टिचरद्वारा तपाईँले तपाईँको रिलेसनसिप एस्टाब्लिस गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। शिल प्रभुपादलाई सुनेर मात्र कति 5 मिनट्सको लेक्चर सुने भयो, खतम, आजको कोटा पुग्यो। भोलि 7 मिनट्स 2 मिनट जोडिदिउँ, पर्सि 8 मिनट्स, त्यस्तै जोड्दै जोड्दै वी क्यान डु द्याट। अनि यो जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो यो सानो जुमको फ्यामिली छ त्यसलाई कन्टिन्यू गर्नुपर्छ, सँगै सुन्नुपर्छ, सँगै गर्नुपर्छ, बिकज द्याट इज वैकुण्ठ थिङ्किङ है। त्यसरी हामीले एकअर्कालाई बढावा गर्न सक्छौँ। विथ दिस तपाईँहरूलाई धेरै धेरै थ्याङ्क यू भन्न चाहन्छु अनि तपाईँहरूलाई यो स्टेज छोडिदिन्छु। प्लिज 5 मिनट्स तपाईँको एक एकजना गरेर म नाम भन्छु, जस्तै जानुका माताजी, कविता माताजी, सबै जो हुनुहुन्छ 5 मिनट आफ्नो एक्सपिरियन्स सेयर गरिदिनुहोस् होला है। सो प्लिज आई रिक्वेस्ट एभ्रीबडी टु सेयर, जति 2 मिनट बोले पनि हुन्छ तपाईँलाई जस्तो अनुभव भयो। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण सबैजनालाई। म जानुका। तपाईँहरू माझमा मैले एभ्रिडे यो कुरा कन्टिन्युली एटेन्ड गर्नु पाइनँ, कतिवटा त्यो नेटवर्कको इस्युजहरूले गर्दा। तर आज चाहिँ लकिली मैले सबै टाइम लाइक फुल टाइम मैले अटेन्ड गर्नु पाएँ। अस्तिको मेरो इक्जाम्सहरूले गर्दा अगाडिको सेसन्सहरू पनि अटेन्ड गर्नु पाएको थिइनँ, बट आजको फुल सेसनले चाहिँ मलाई एकदमै लाइक भित्रबाट इनर पिस भनौँ है, एकदम इनर पिस पाएँ जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई। खुसी, एकदम खुसी लाग्यो सबैजनासँग यसरी बात गर्नु, यसरी सुन्नु र हरे कृष्ण यो मन्त्र जुन चाहिँ चान्ट गर्नु, यो सबै कुराले चाहिँ मलाई एकदम भित्रबाटै खुसी लागेको छ। यो कुरालाई चाहिँ म अब एभ्रिडे युज गरेँ मेरो लाइफमा। एभ्रिडे यसलाई चाहिँ एउटा मिडियम अफ वे टु द गड्स टेम्पल आर वाट टु से गड्स होम, या आफ्नो होम, आफ्नो घर लाने एउटा अब मिडियम अफ वे भयो। त्यसलाई चाहिँ म त्यो बनाउने छु। अन्त चाहिँ अरूलाई पनि यो कुरामा चाहिँ अझै इन्करेज गरेर उनीहरूलाई पनि हामीसँगै जोडाउने प्रयास चाहिँ मेरो रहनेछ। धन्यवाद।
थ्याङ्क यू सो मच जानुका माताजी। तपाईँले एक दिनको सेसन पुरा सुन्नुभयो, तर तपाईँले सबसे इम्पोर्टेन्ट द किङ अफ अल साइन्स सुन्नुभयो है, भक्ति योगा अनि कसरी भक्ति योगालाई पुऱ्याउने। धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद। एन्ड हामीले आइएम सो ह्याप्पी टु हियर फ्रम यु कि तपाईँले आफ्नो लाइफमा यसलाई अप्लाई गर्नुहुन्छ, किनभने सबै प्रयत्नको सम एन्ड सब्सटेन्स यो हो कि तपाईँहरूले आफ्नो जीवनमा अपनाउनुहोस्। त्यसपछि तपाईँ पनि कृष्णको प्रिय हुनुहुन्छ अनि जुन दिन कृष्णको प्रिय हुनुहुन्छ हामी सबै हुन्छौँ नि। धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद। अब ला हरे कृष्ण कविता माताजी, सायद म त मैले म्युट गरेको थिएँ क्या आफूलाई जस्तो लाग्यो। त्यही कारण धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद जानुका माताजी, हजुरले यस्तो राम्रो I was heard.
Yes, Mataji.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, maybe मैले नाम के पो भने कविता माताजी है, उहाँले पनि आफ्नो सानो रियलाइजेसन सेयर गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। उहाँलाई जस्तो जे फिल भयो, एक वर्ड 2 वर्ड जे भन्नु जे तपाईँले मन लाग्यो। हरे कृष्ण कविता माताजी। केही छैन, हामी कविता माताजी। हरे कृष्ण कविता माताजी सुन्नु हुँदैछ भने तपाईँले आफ्नो माइकलाई अनम्युट गरेर हामीलाई पनि तपाईँको मनको कुरा सेयर गर्नुहोस् है। सायद के भएको होला। हामी निशा माताजीलाई सुनौँ। हरे कृष्ण निशा माताजी।
Hare Krishna Mataji. Actually, I got this whole thing from Sangita Mataji. She introduced me to this entire seminar. And I've never read about Bhagavad Gita, Rumaileswari. I've not read about it, but hearing from Shweta Mataji, it has enlightened me in so many things, and I feel so nice and positive. I always look forward for this 11 o'clock classes. It's given me a new thing in this lockdown. It's like made me, yes, I should, every morning should start early in the morning and should, pray to Lord Krishna, even for a minute. I'll give my time now. I'm like very positive about it. I'm very happy, and thank you so much for this, amazing 7-day classes. Of course, I missed a couple of them, but I did go back to the recordings, and I did not want to miss anything. So it was like, I really want to thank you, and yes, I had an amazing time, and thank you to all the Matajis, and it was a really good experience for me, and I really want to thank Sangita Mataji for introducing me to this whole thing. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Nisha Mataji, for actually sharing your such genuine realization. Yeah, it's
Thank
indeed a yeah. Thank you so much. It makes us so much happy that there are so many people who are unaware of Bhagavad Gita, and now to this platform, to these circumstances like lockdown, you're making the right utilization, and I'm so happy that you have decided
Yes.
to at least meditate upon the Supreme Lord for at least 1 minute daily, like an
Yes, of
exercise.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the
Then
most
of
practical
course,
thing to do.
yeah, then of course I'm going to start, maybe I'll start more, and of course
Yeah,
I've asked Beena Mataji if I could get Bhagavad Gita in English, because my Nepal is not that good. So
yeah,
I've
yeah.
I've asked, yeah, of course I've asked Beena Mataji to, if she could send me the book Bhagavad Gita in English so that I can start reading. And I
Yeah, for
hope we have
sure.
this kind of seminar, I hope we keep having this kind of seminar again and again. We can learn from you, and it's really nice to hear your voice every morning. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Please continue with 1 minute thinking to Krishna every day. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Nisha Mataji, हजुरको realization share गर्नुको लागि. So I request वहाँ एकजना माताजी हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँको नाम चाहिँ आएको छैन, but it's Oppo A52. Name is not visible in the screen. So उहाँको प्लिज आफ्नो नाम सेयर गर्नु सक्नुहुन्छ, एन्ड हजुरको सानो रियलाइजेसन हामीसित सेयर गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. Am I audible?
I'm so sorry. I've been speaking when my mic was off. So yes, maybe A52 is thinking about the realization. So let us move on to Punam Mataji.
Okay. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Punam Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
And I feel so good for attending such a beautiful and wonderful session. I feel they share these things to Beena Mataji. And I feel such a great feeling, and I can feel the immense energy within me. And thank you so much, Mataji, for organizing such a wonderful session. I came to know a lot of things, and it's such a great feeling. I've been currently right now. I feel so great within these 7 days. I hope this type of things will be there in the future too, and hope for this. And I must say, you are such a great speaker, Shweta Mataji, and thank you for organizing such a wonderful, informative session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Punam Mataji. I hope and I pray that you will also, like Nisha Mataji, promise to give few minutes of your day to remembering Krishna in the form of simply hearing and simply chanting. Hare Krishna Mataji, maybe Prerna. Hare Krishna, maybe Prerna Mataji could share her realization.
Hello?
Hello, yes, Mataji, Prerna Mataji.
It is so hard for me to connect right now. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna Mataji. I'm so sorry. It was so hard for me to get connected. I was like, oh my God, I'm missing out a major part right now. So I didn't even realize the 7 days has already passed. The lockdown phase has already passed. So it was all with the help of our beautiful and like enlightening sessions that Shweta Mataji conducted. And this is like mind boggling, as well as the experience that I got was like ecstatic actually. I'm a believer of science, to be very honest, and I never knew so much things that could happen with me in just few days. The realization was enormous, and okay. Hello.
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So the experience was enormous, first of all, and I know that we are so much we have so much to learn. To be very honest, we have so much to learn, but to an extent I could understand that I learned something, and I learned something from you. And right now I have this mixed feeling of, like, I'm very happy. To be very honest, the happiness has just reached its limit. So, and about, I don't know, I really can't say anything right now. It's been like, the experience is just awesome. All I can say is that. And yeah, I found where I have to be. This is where I have to be. And finding your virtue of life is important, and I found it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prerna Mataji. It's so good to see you. It's so good to hear from you that this 7 day sessions has made an impact in your life. I think that's the most important thing. Like the aim of education or an educator in any way or the other, transformation of character. So just like two of our Matajis, I hope you will also somehow or the other in the
Exactly.
busy schedule. Yeah.
I have
Add
been
on
reading
Krishna.
this book. I have been
Okay.
reading this book lately. So,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
not
The
able to
science of
reciprocate to
self-realization.
anything which was written over here. But
Mm-hmm.
after the session, 2 days before the session was conducted, and I started to read about this in a proper sense. And
Mm-hmm.
to to be very honest, Sweta Mataji, it's very hard for me to explain you right now what I'm feeling. It's been a
Okay.
life-changing experience for me, because I've been trying to search for the purpose. I've been trying to
Mm-hmm.
search from you. I could understand that the teacher, the guru sishya thing, I could
Yeah.
understand that, yes, this was the time when I had to give up myself and learn from a guru. And I don't know, but you tried your best, and I could understand whatever you said to me. And yeah, I have been like, I'm lucky to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for such a beautiful take over the thing. And please keep on reading Srila Prabhupada's book, because Srila
Mhm.
Prabhupada says, in his book, like on the way to Krishna, the first page, where he says that, that I will be with that personality always who reads my book. You can hear me through my words. So this is the words of great saintly personalities, and they are really sadhus. Like, we are students. We're engrossed with four defects. Everybody knows that, right? But this great personality, it's really good to hear from such vibrant, good-looking ladies, to hear that they're really falling in love with Krishna. I'm just so excited to meet you all on a physical setting. So we move on forward with a few more contribution. Like Rajashri Mataji, could she be, uh, she could unmute herself or share her, like, it would be really nice. Yeah,
Hello,
Rajashri. Hello, Hare
hello,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna to everyone.
Yes.
I have been, I wanted to say this since a very long time, actually. I have been reading Bhagavad Gita since last year because I went through some, some very bad things that happened to me last year. So my mom had been sick for quite some time, and even I got sick. Last year's lockdown was very not good for me. So I am a pranami by birth. So we all are also a Krishna devotee, always have been. So, but I have never found the way to understand, like who Krishna is. And I have been reading, but I was lost. Though I was reading, I could understand something. I could understand what was being said and what was being told. And then I always wanted, I had given the number to Mataji before when I bought this book, where there was a book fair in Gantok. So on that day only, I bought this book, Bhagavad Gita, and I wanted to read it. So I started reading it, and then it was like I was blind, though I was lost somewhere, but I wanted someone to tell me about it, guide me. I wanted someone to do that. And then all of a sudden, the day before only, I was just realizing I'm reading it, but I'm not being able to understand much. I was just going through it, but I'm just going through it blindly. I'm understanding, but I'm not being able to grasp it. But when you when you told us when you explained us about karma, when you explained us about dharma, about Krishna, who am I, and then the eternal soul that I have, and then I was going through it, and then as I had read in the past, I'm just in chapter 2 right now, but. Chapter 2 verse 48. Yesterday I was you were talking about karma, yoga, everything is there, and then I was so clear, crystal clear, and then I was so happy. And then I even thanked Mataji, who always messages me. She tells me, like, join the class and this and that. I messaged her back, saying I'm so happy, I'm so blessed to be here, and then understand Bhagavad Gita. I'm really so happy, and then it's changing me day to day, every day it's changing me, and then I'm so thankful to be here. And then I really want to be close to understanding this more. So thank you so much, Shweta Mataji. And I'm too a teacher though, and I'm English teacher in Holy Cross. So when I came to know that you were a student in Holy Cross, so that's really good to know you are as well. I'm really proud. Thank you.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, we met one of the teacher from my school. Really good to hear you, Mataji. Excited when the normalcy is going to come and all of us are going to sit together, eat together, and have a nice time.
Yeah, sure.
Is the most, it said, there is a very beautiful bhajan which says, it says, okay, I just forgot. Okay, let me say. It says, Parama Karuna Paudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Sabavatar Sarasirumani Kevalananda Kanda. So what does this mean is that in this yuga, it's like Krishna consciousness is like so, it's the most anandamay, like so happy. What we do, once Prabhupada is like, many people were asking, your devotees, like, what do they do whole day? What is the entertainment? They don't have a movie, they don't have anything, they don't have TV. They said, Are, the whole day, morning, what they do, they wake up early, they chant. In chanting also, they find happiness because we know that's our eternal bond, right? Though we don't see it. Then what they do, then they beautifully decorate the deities, the lordships. It also brings pleasure. Then what they do, then they cook the most, very fancy dishes. Then they eat. Then during the aarti, what they do, they dance. So this is what we are looking. We go for party, we go for this. These are all the things that we do. So in Krishna consciousness, in real sense, if we make our philosophy tight, if the foundation is really strong, oh my God, 24 hours goes like this, we don't even realize, So yeah, it was really good to hear from Rashmi Mataji. So let's hear from Renuka Mataji. Renuka Mataji is here. Renuka Mataji, or okay, maybe we could hear from Malati Mataji. Malti Mataji,
She
though
wrote
you've
a
written.
realization in message, Mataji. Malti Mataji wrote a realization in the message. And yeah, if any one of you are having some internet issue, you can write your realization in message through message. So we will read it, everyone.
Okay, so then maybe, yeah, so we've ended up with the realization session as well. So, well, this is not the end. This is the beginning of a everlasting relationship that we're going to build, right? Because now we've come to an understanding that that this world is very much temporary. That ups and downs are part of life. Prahlad Maharaj says ups and downs are part of life. So similarly, in this search, of course, it's going to give us happiness. Of course, that's the only way to happiness. But still, there will be still problems. There'll be still ups and downs. Sometimes internet issue, like in the case of classes. Sometimes, we only don't know how to express ourselves. Sometimes here clashes, sometimes there clashes. But irrespective of whatever ups and downs are going to happen, still, when we know that the funda is we have to go back to Godhead, and there is a way out, that is chanting. There is another way out, that is ABCD, association, right? Reading of books, uh, so diet, right? So all of this will definitely help us, So we have to not forget what we have learned in this 7 days. Great personality like Parikshit Maharaj, he was supposed to die on the seventh day, and he had been cursed by a Brahmana, by a son of a Brahmana, that he will die on the seventh day. But he chose that 7 day. He was the king of all this great place, the whole planetary universe. But then what he did, in spite of wasting his 7 days over happiness, he chose to sit in front of Ganga and hear about the Supreme Personality, hear about the Supreme Happiness. So at least he was aware of 7 day that he's gonna die. But in our case, we even don't know when are we gonna die. We may die the other second also, the other moment also. So we have to make the right utilization. So this is not the end of the session. Maybe 7 day sessions have come to an end, but since we have promised that we are going to give 1 minute, maybe not 1 minute, maybe at least some 8 minutes, because one down chanting means at least minimum of 8 minutes. So let us come to a platform of WhatsApp or Zoom group where we'll chant together. That 8 minutes, let's give it to each of us, and yeah, and read together, eat together, and go back home, back to Godhead. People are waiting there. So yeah, so with this we come to an end, and thank you so much for being there. Hare Krishna. So let us just end by repeating the prayers, because we know that the devotees of the Lord is more merciful than the devotees. So, and by the mercy of the devotees can we understand. So we just repeat this mantra, which says Vanchakalpa Tarujasya Kripa Sindhu Bhavevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So please unmute yourself. Let us just chant all glories to Srila Prabhupada 3 times. So please unmute yourself and just say all glories to Srila
All
Prabhupada.
glories to Srila
All
Prabhupada.
All glories
glories
to
to
Unmute
Srila
yourself.
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Lord
All
Shri
glories to
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada.
Lord Shri
All
Krishna.
All glories
glories
to Lord
to
All
Shri
Shri
All
Krishna.
glories
glories
Krishna.
to
to
you.
Prabhupada.
And all glories to ISKCON, Gantok, and the great devotees there who've made this platform where we could learn and hear. And the biggest glories to lockdown and COVID, and the one who created COVID. Okay, so yeah. So with this,
Thank you so,
Thank you
yeah,
so
I
much.
sign off,
thank you
and
so
Thank you
much,
so
Shweta
much.
Mataji.
thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being there.
So at the last but not the least, I have to announce the winner of the quiz. So the first, who is in the, okay, I will start from the third. It's Malti Basnet Mataji, who come third.
Haribo.
Second is Renuka Mataji, a big haribol to her. And first is our Nisha Mataji.
Hari
Haribol.
Hari
Actually,
Bol.
everyone gave the correct
Hare
answer.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Congratulations to all of you, Mataji. And yeah,
You want to
there is
share
little
something?
small announcement at the end. It's like we thank everyone for being with us throughout the session, and we are giving a certificate also. We will share it in the group. to all the participants who were with us, who joined with us in this session, and all the winners of the quiz. We will giving them gifts through courier if the lockdown continues. So you can, I will just share the names. You can just give your address so we can send you through courier your gifts. And it's like हजुरहरूले अगर यो सेसन कन्टिन्यू गर्नु चाहनुहुन्छ हामीले we will organize more session like this. And even Sangita Mataji, she wrote me, she couldn't attend the last part of the session, but she wrote me that that I really had a great experience from this 7-day session. Sangita Kharel Mataji couldn't attend last session as my office meeting is going on. Thank you, Shweta Mataji, for enlightening us with the spiritual classes on Bhagavad Gita. I would love to join if you do not mind taking another session for verses to verses explanation of Bhagavad Gita. It's my humble request. So Mataji is already ready for our next session. And yeah, we are just this because of the COVID lockdown, as we are all, everyone in home only, we just continued the session. But according to your convenience, we can have weekly session 2 hours per week. So we can easily give our time. We will conduct another session which will give you more enlightenment about Bhakti Yoga. So please share your timing, what you want, how you will manage the time, which is convenient for you in the chat box. And last but not the least, I thank Shweta Mataji, Mehak Mataji, and a person who is behind this, all our meeting, who made it successful, His Grace Madhakant Prabhuji, our teacher in ISKCON Gangtok, our leader, and he only arranged everything. He engages us, me, Sweta Mataji, Mahasundari Mataji, to help you all to learn Bhagavad Gita. So a big thank. He's always in a hidden role. He never speaks. But yeah, उहाँले हामीलाई यो अपर्च्युनिटी दिनुभएको कि हामी लर्न गर्न सक्यो हैन उहाँले सब अर्गनाइज गर्नुबाट लिएर स्लाइड्सहरु शो गर्नुबाट लिएर जुम प्रोग्राम अरेन्ज गर्नुबाट लिएर एभ्रीथिङ ही इज बिहाइन्ड अस सो वी जस्ट थ्यांक हिम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे and I thank all the participants, so enlightened participants. I am very happy to get we are very happy हजुरको एसोसिएसन हामीले पाउँछौं in the coming days. So please आफ्नो टाइमिङ्सहरु शेयर गर्नु कुन स्लटमा हजुर फ्री रहनुहुन्छ वीकमा मंडे टु सैटरडे which day of the week will be suitable for you हैन हजुरलाई कस्तो सुविधा हुन्छ त्यही हिसाबले हामीले नेक्स्ट सेशन्स को प्लानिङ गर्छौं है So thank you everyone and Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Waiting for next sessions and next association of all of you. So please share your timings so that we could meet regularly each day, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, somehow or the other. So please share your timings, share your priority or your degree of commitment that you could do so that, you know, once you learn the science behind it, then you can apply it every day. So please write to us, share to us, how do you all want. So as per that, we are very much ready to serve you because the constitutional position of Jeev is to serve. So we are very much ready. So waiting for your quick take on that and quick reply. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hari Bol.